Okay then guys, let's have a quick look at this paper then before we go through the questions one by one in turn, sequentially, and go through the entire paper. This is the WJEC C4 examination of June 2010. It's a 1.5 hour long paper. So let's have a quick look at these questions then. There's instructions of course on the front page. The first one's on partial fractions, so we need to use partial fractions, and then we need to differentiate these partial fractions and evaluate the derivative at the value 1. So it's a fairly stock question there, isn't it? Question 2, normal to this curve, so we need to get the tangent, so we need implicit differentiation, and then we get the tangent, and then we can get the gradient of the normal at this particular point. 3 is on trig, double angle formula here, so we'll get a quadratic in cos. This is the compound formula, a compound formula here, and then the least value of this, if you put the value here that you get in here, it'll be r sine of something plus 20. The least value will occur when the denominator is biggest, isn't it? So when that's biggest plus 20 is biggest, then this will be least. So look out for that one. 3 part B. 4 is on rotating volumes of revolution. Here's a simple little curve between 30 and 60 degrees. Full right angle just means it's rotated 360 degrees about the OX axis, doesn't it? It says 4. 5, expand, so that's binomial theorem, up to x squared, the valid range, and then put 1 in and show root 3 as that. So that's a nice question to do, isn't it? Question 5. Parametric differentiation, again, is fairly straightforward. Parameter p at the point capital P, show us the tangent has this equation. That's a nice question. And then you've got a final question here in regard to tangents. So that's a lovely question, that one. Number 7 is integration by parts. Here with the log, v du dx, you've got to choose this to be the v, haven't you? Because you can't integrate log, it's not a standard integral. So that would be your v, this would be your du. That's how that one would work. 8 is substitution, so that's just expansion of brackets and making substitution. This is a differential equation here, directly proportional to v squared, the rate of decrease. So dv dt is the rate of increase, so minus dv dt is the rate of decrease, is equal to alpha v squared, because it's proportionality, isn't it, constant there. Solve the differential equation after you've written it, and work out some values as well. So that's question 8. Not too bad a question. 9 is vectors, dot product, and then directional lines as well here and there. 10 is on proof, method of contradiction here. Prove by contradiction the following proposition. So they start you off with the first line of proof, and then you've got to continue to reason with the reader and write it in the mind frame of the reader, so that you try and write down what you would want someone to understand from what you've written. So bear that in mind when you write out your reasoning, to use that proof by contradiction method. So look out for that question. So all in all, it doesn't look like too bad a paper. There's no shock horrors in it, I don't think. Not too bad, fairly user friendly. And of course, when you're doing an exam, it's good to have a look at the paper to begin with, so that you get give your brain a chance to assimilate the questions, so that when you come to them, they're not entirely unfamiliar. Hopefully your brain has already subconsciously worked on the problems, so you're already halfway there. Of course, it also enables you to then choose the questions you'd like to do first. It's often a good idea to get a few questions under your belt, make you start to feel comfortable with the examination setting, so it's good to choose questions you've really prepared properly, and reasonably short questions, so you get those marks in double quick time. Of course, if you finish early and go through all the questions, then it's good practice to double check all your work. Essentially the parts that need double checking. So if a question says show that, this is that, and you've done that, then that doesn't need any double checking. It's only questions that actually don't say things like that will genuinely need a double check. And then when you've double checked all those things, then of course triple check. In other words, use every last possible minute of the 90 minutes available to you to obtain as good a mark as you possibly can. Make sure you eke out every last possible mark, so that you get your just desserts for all the hard work that you've put in. So all the best then guys with the C4, if you've got one in the near future. Hope you do as well as you possibly can, and I hope these examination sessions and the revision paper questions that I've written down are of some help in that respect. So as I say, all the best then guys, and I'll catch you in another revision session. Cheers!